Hey guys, welcome back to another tier list video. Today we're going to ranking all 16 teams that are attending VCT Champs Seoul. Real quickly, going through the tiers, we have trophy contenders. So these are the teams I think will probably be in those upper finals and not grand finals. We have playoffs or bust. So probably the top 8 in the region or in the champs. Sorry. We have could be in playoffs. So like they might make playoffs, but they're not really contending for anything other than that. We have the meh tier, and then we have the why are you here tier. So starting off with Billy Gaming. We're gonna be going in the why are you here tier. They did make playoffs last champs. However, they have a lot of roster changes. They're coming out as I think the 4 seed for China, so not a lot of hope for for them. And if we go to VLR real quick, we'll see they're in a pretty decently tough group if I'm not mistaken. They're in Fnatic and DRX's group, so I really don't think that they'll be beating either of these teams. I don't think they'll even beat Crew, to be honest. I think Crew have that. So let's just pull up VCT champs. Yeah, VCT Champions Tour. So yeah, they're in a group of DRX, Crew, and Fnatic. So I don't really have much hope for them. Next we have DRX. DRX. I think they're in the playoffs or bust category because if you look at their group, they're with Crew and they're with Billy Gaming, two teams that are kind of very bottom tier, I think, of the international stage. So not very high champs. EDG, honestly, they've been very meh recently, and they're in a group with 3 very good teams. They are 1 seed, so they do have a bonus there. However, they're playing Foot first round, and then if they do win that game, they're playing or win or lose, they're playing either G2 or Paper X. So both of which are teams I think that they would lose to. They made a roster change recently, so I just don't think that they've been very good on the international stage, and I just don't think they're very good. Next, I have Fnatic. Fnatic are they're very in between here. If there's a tier in between, they would be Fnatic because they have looked very good, but they haven't looked very good on international stage in quite a while. So they missed the first Masters and then bombed out of the second Masters. So not very great for Fnatic recently. FPX are in the could be playoffs tier. If we look at their group, they're with Team Heretics, Gen.G, and Sentinels. So by far the hardest group. I really like watching FPX play. They're a very fun team, but they're just in a very rough group. Foot are could be playoffs tier. Again, they're in this very hard group with G2, Paper X, and EDG aren't bad, but obviously they're not great. So I'm gonna put them above EDG, above FPX, but they're still not looking too great. G2 are the trophy contenders tier. So if you look at G2's group, it should be pretty decent for them. I'm pretty sure they beat Paper X, if I'm not mistaken. If we go back and look at Masters. Um, yeah, they beat Paper X last time they played, so they should be in shape to make it out of this group and even possibly make it out as a top seed. So if they beat Paper X, I have no reason to believe that they won't beat Foot or EDG. So G2 are definitely trophy contenders. Next is Gen.G, and Gen.G are probably going to be at the top of this tier list for me. They're not really like there's not I don't think that I don't think that anybody would disagree with that. They are playing Sentinels, which is a team that they did lose the first Masters to, but Gen.G are coming off of a Masters win, and typically those teams are pretty good at champs. Next is Crew. I'm putting Crew in the why are you here tier. Some people might disagree with this, but they got kind of a lucky win against 100 Thieves. They had two very close maps that they ended up winning in the end. Which 100, I don't think that Crew won that game. I think 100 Thieves lost that game, if you know what I mean. Like 100 Thieves really threw pretty hard. So I think that they are in the why here too, because they just kind of got a little lucky. Next is Leviatan. So I'm gonna put Lev. I need to see more from Lev. Obviously, they won VCT Americas. However, then they have a decent they have probably one of the easiest groups of all. They have Team Vitality, which they look alright, but they're not great. They have Talon, which is probably a free win. Um, and then they also have Trace Esports, who again it's another low tier Chinese team. Like they're not very great. So they definitely are in playoffs or bust. But I think past that they're gonna have a lot of struggle because if we look at their last international performance, back here at Shanghai, I mean they lost to Gen.G, which is fine, whatever. They 2-0'd T1 and they lost to Foot, so it was pretty decent. However, kind of underwhelming. I mean, I actually did not know they took a map off of Gen.G and Foot. What map did they win against them? I'm assuming Icebox, right? Yeah, they won Icebox. So they won Icebox, then got destroyed. If we go back to Foot, uh, got dominated on Sunset, won Lotus, lost Bind. So honestly, not even like a terrible. Oh, whoops, not what I wanted to do. Not even a terrible international performance from Lev, which I thought they did a lot worse. I'm gonna be honest. So I might actually move Lev up to trophy contenders, just like the very bottom though. Next is Paper X. I think that they're in trophy contenders here. They might have a bit of issue getting it out of this group. Obviously, if they lose to G2, which is more than likely, I think G2 are favored in this game. Then playing Foot or EDG in an elimination match is not like an amazing spot to be in. But I still think that they're able to contend for that trophy and be in that top three, top four spot at the end of playoffs. Next is Sentinels. I think they're in playoffs or bust, but I don't think. I'm not sure. They could be down here, or I'm not sure yet. Um, I think I'm gonna put them in playoffs or bust. For now, I'm gonna put them below DRX and Fnatic though. I think that they're gonna be they have a chance to make playoffs. It's gonna be a little rough, obviously. Having Team Heretics and Gen.G in your group is very rough. However, they definitely could make playoffs potentially. Next is Talon. Talon is very meh. They might even be why are you here? I'm not sure. So they're very meh. So I mean, like I haven't seen much. I mean, Premi is good, but he's not like carry you to an international good. Let's say is Team Heretics contending for a trophy or not? I'm not sure. In all honesty, I think they're definitely playoffs or bust, but I'm gonna put them here. Would I prefer Team Heretics or Sentinels? Both these teams have had very similar issues. Like the wheels are just kind of falling off slowly. Like Team Heretics did not look very good, and even losing Sunset. So like recently, I don't know. I don't think so. Team Vitality, however, are could be playoffs for sure. Um, I'm not sure if that will come to fruition, but they definitely have that ceiling of making playoffs. And lastly, we have Trace. We're just gonna stick him here. I mean, it's another low tier Chinese team. If you're not named FPX or EDG, and you're from China, I honestly just don't even believe in you anymore. Like, I just every single time they get first rounded, except for Billy last year. But again, just not great performances from the Chinese teams. So yeah, here is my tier list for the VCT champs. Obviously, this is not my predictions because three of these groups, or a lot of these teams, like these three, are all in the same group, so they all can't make playoffs. Just kind of unfortunate. It's the way the cookie crumbled. But since these three teams are up here, not predictions. My pick'ems video is separate. This is just like the tiers of who I think is actually good in all of the international. And it's very sad that these three are in the same group because I like all of them and I want all of them to be in playoffs, but one of them has to go, sadly. And honestly, I really like FPX as well. Like, they're not a bad team. They're just in a very hard group, and I don't think that they have a chance of making it out. In all honesty, so yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, join the Discord if you want to be involved in the community. I've been running events in here recently. I ran an event last night. As you can see, when will the video be uploaded today? So yeah, if you're interested in that, make sure to click the link in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.